Hi, my name is Andrew Quist, and this is a lesson plan for EDSU 532, and my 2T is here, and we are going to be going over our lesson plan. Our lesson plan incorporates some basic comprehension strategies in which my 2T is going to read a paragraph, then he's going to restate in his own words what that paragraph is saying. And then we're going to use a modified version of the CSR lesson back in the IRIS module that we all did in this class a couple weeks ago. And the way that we're going to do that is my 2T is going to identify words in the paragraph that he is having trouble with, difficult vocabulary. We call those clunkers. And we've got the clunkers written here on this 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper that I have actually cut into strips on one of the sides. He identifies the clunkers, he writes them down. He's done this previously, obviously. He writes the clunker down, then he actually defines the clunker on the back, and then on the other side of the paper, he uses the clunker in a sentence. And then I thought this was a good idea because this is something that the student can take away with him or her and use as a study guide. The words will help the student actually work through the lesson and help in essays and things like that. So we're going to demonstrate how this works. 2T, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Start with Southern states secede.
Before the 1860 presidential election, many Southerners had warned that if Lincoln won, the Southern states would secede or withdraw from the Union. Supporters of secession based their arguments on the idea of states' rights. They argued that the states had voluntarily joined the Union. Consequently, they claimed that the states also had the right to leave the Union.
Okay, good. Do you want to go ahead and explain back to me what that paragraph is saying?
Yeah, so pretty much the South didn't want their slaves being taken away, so in their defense, they used states' rights.
Perfect.
And the bad part of it is that other states, if they wanted to, they could leave the South.
They could leave, not the South, they could leave the Union,
yeah, the
right?
Union.
To leave the United States, right. Any clunkers? Did you come across any difficult vocabulary in that?
Secede and consequently.
Secede and consequently, which we have written down on this list. It's kind of like that, on a cooking show when they put the cake batter into the cake pan and then magically they pull everything out and it's all done. That's kind of what we've done here. So secede. Why don't you look at the sentence, the prior sentence leading into the word and the sentence leading out of the word, and look at that for context and see if you can figure out what secede means.
The Southern states would secede or withdraw from the Union.
Oh. So in this case, the word is actually bolded, and therefore it is defined in the text, is it not?
Yes.
Good job. Okay. And then consequently, why don't you look at the sentence just prior to the word consequently and see if you can find some contextual clues.
Consequently, they claimed that he states also had this right to leave the Union.
Right. So what do you think, just looking at that, what do you think consequently, if you look at the context, what do you think consequently is going to mean?
It could be a result.
It could be a result. And so in that case, what's the result that's happening?
The states leaving the Union.
The states leave the Union. That's right. Good. Okay, well, that's the first paragraph. Let's go on to the second, please.
On December 20th, 1860, South Carolina became the first state to secede. Other states in the Deep South, where slave labor and cotton production were most common, also considered secession. During the next 6 weeks, Mississippi, Florida, Alabama, Georgia, Louisiana, and Texas joined South Carolina in secession.
Okay. So, can you tell me what that means in your own words?
So, the South Carolina was the first to leave the Union, secede from the Union, and multiple other states left the Union with them.
That's right. And what kind of states were they? Like, why was it these specific specific states that left?
Because they didn't like the slavery either.
No, they like slavery, right? They want slavery. They don't want it taken away from them because they are heavy cotton producing states.
And they didn't want their cotton production to go out of business.
Right, which is what would happen if their slaves were taken, right?
Yeah.
So we have this mass secession early in 1861, right? Yeah, I think it was, late 1860, early 1861. Any clunkers in that paragraph?
No.
No. Okay, let's move on to the next
Okay.
one then.
In early February 1861, the states that seceded met in Montgomery, Alabama. They formed the Confederate States of America. The convention named Jefferson Davis president of the Confederacy.
Okay. So very quickly, we have about 50 seconds left. What happened? Just restate that for me.
All the states that left the Union met in Montgomery, Alabama, and they formed the Confederate States of America, and they elected Jefferson Davis as the president of the convention.
Awesome. And any clunkers in there?
Yeah, Confederacy and sovereign.
Confederacy. Okay. What was Confederacy? I mean, if you look at the context, then. So what do you think?
They formed the Confederate States of America, so it means like an assembly of states.
A loose assembly of states. That's right. And then the last one was sovereign, but you know what? I think that's in the next paragraph.
Oh, okay.
And we don't have time to go over that one.
Okay.
So, how do you feel about this lesson?
Good.
Yeah? Did it teach you something?
Yeah.
I think we figured this one out together.
Better memory on everything.
Yeah, good. All right, thank you, Tuti. You're supposed to say thank you, tutor.
Thank you, tutor.
All right.